When society's systems break down, currency becomes worthless paper, but human needs remain constant. Today, we're covering the 10 most valuable items you should stockpile, not just for survival, but for trade. These are the new currency of a collapsed world. Water purification tablets and filters. Clean water becomes liquid gold when the taps run dry. A single water purification tablet can make a gallon of contaminated water safe to drink. Portable filters are even more valuable. They're reusable and can purify hundreds of gallons. In a world where waterborne illness kills, these small items become incredibly precious. Its trade value extremely high. People will trade food, tools, even weapons for clean water access. Antibiotics and basic medications. When hospitals close and pharmacies are looted, common medications become worth their weight in gold. Broad-spectrum antibiotics, pain relievers, anti-diarrheal medication, and basic first aid supplies can mean the difference between life and death. A bottle of amoxicillin could buy you a month's worth of food. Their trade value, absolutely maximum. Nothing trades higher than medicine when someone really needs it. Salt, number 3 on our list. It preserves food, helps keep your electrolytes balanced, and honestly, it's just essential for human survival. Before we had fridges, salt was so valuable it was actually used as currency. That's literally where the word salary comes from. In a world that's collapsed, salt just goes right back to being a cornerstone of trade. Salt's trade value, it's consistent and universal. Everyone needs it, but, hardly anyone thinks to stockpile enough. So, alcohol, yeah, the high-proof stuff, pulls triple duty in a crisis. It's not just for drinking, but also works as a disinfectant and, honestly, a painkiller when things get rough. Plus, let's face it, people really crave a drink when they're stressed out. Vodka, grain alcohol, even that sketchy homemade moonshine, all of it becomes super valuable. Just one bottle, that could trade for weeks' worth of supplies. The trade value of alcohol is, well, extremely high. When everyone's stressed, the demand just shoots up and the supply vanishes almost overnight. Cigarettes and tobacco, yeah, those cravings don't just disappear because society does. Cigarettes are small, lightweight, they don't spoil, and are, honestly, desperately craved by smokers. Even if you don't smoke yourself, you should still think about stockpiling these. They're actually among the most requested barter items in any crisis situation. The trade value of cigarettes is, well, extremely high with smokers. People will actually trade essential items just to get their fix. If you find value in this information, go ahead and subscribe and like for more. Moving on to hand tools and hardware. When power tools are basically useless, hand tools totally rule the day. Hammers, screwdrivers, wrenches, nails, screws, and just your basic hardware become absolutely essential for repairs and construction. A good multi-tool or a set of socket wrenches can actually trade for substantial supplies. Their trade value is high and, honestly, pretty consistent. Tools like these are always needed for maintenance and building, so they're always in demand. Feminine hygiene products are often overlooked by male preppers, but these items become desperately needed and really impossible to substitute. Tampons, pads, and menstrual cups don't just provide comfort. They're actually essential for health and dignity. And let's not forget, half the population needs these items every single month. The trade value here is, well, very high within the female population. These items are often traded for premium goods, which just shows how important they are in any survival situation. Disease spreads really quickly in unsanitary conditions. Bar soap, toothpaste, toothbrushes, and shampoo might seem like luxury items at first, but honestly, they're survival necessities. As stockpiles run out, people will actually trade valuable resources just to maintain basic hygiene and health. The trade value of soap is moderate to high. It becomes even more valuable as a crisis goes on. Never underestimate the psychological value of comfort, like coffee, tea, and other little things that make life feel a bit more normal. Coffee, tea, chocolate, and spices really do provide those morale boosts that become absolutely precious during dark times. These items, they're lightweight, shelf-stable, and honestly, they offer psychological benefits that people will pay premium prices for. The trade value of comfort is actually quite high. Sometimes it's worth even more than practical items just because it can really boost morale. Just remember, The best barter items usually have a few things in common. They're essential for survival, tough to make at home, easy to store, and well, they have that universal appeal everyone looks for. But here's the most important advice I can give. In a real collapse scenario, your network and your reputation end up mattering way more than whatever you've got in your stockpile. Be the person others actually want to trade with. Start small, think practical, and yeah, remember, the goal isn't to profit from others' misery, but to create mutual benefit that helps everyone get through. In the end, we're all in this together. For more info, check out these videos.